Have you ever stopped to think about what truly matters as you grow older? Is it your financial success, your health, or perhaps the people who surround you? As we journey through life, we all come to realize that certain things matter more than others when it comes to aging gracefully. In this video, we will delve deep into the 4 core pillars that can make your later years not just peaceful, but fulfilling and joyful. These pillars are respectful and supportive children, good health, a life partner, and peace of mind. These are not mere ideals or abstract concepts. They are the foundation for a life well lived, no matter how many years you've accumulated. Throughout this video, I'll share valuable insights drawn from real-life experiences, lessons that took years to fully understand and apply. As you listen, you'll come to realize why the greatest wealth isn't something you can measure in terms of money or material possessions. True wealth is found in the love we give and receive, and in the wisdom that we pass down through the generations. Furthermore, I'll show you why maintaining your health and nurturing your relationships are far more essential to your happiness than you may have previously thought. By the time you finish watching, you'll have practical advice on how to live intentionally, cherish the relationships you have, and make sure your golden years aren't just about getting by, they're about thriving. These aren't just tips for surviving old age. They're strategies for living life to its fullest. Stay tuned, and let's dive into these powerful lessons, which you can start applying today for a richer, more meaningful future. Before we get started, if you're new to this channel, I recommend subscribing and hitting that notification bell so you never miss out on any of our valuable content. Your support is so appreciated, and if this video resonates with you, please consider liking and sharing it with others who could benefit from these important life lessons. If you enjoy the topic of today's video, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment with a 1 if this topic speaks to you, or a 0 if there's something else you'd like to see more of on this channel. Your feedback means the world to me, and it helps me continue making videos that truly matter. Now, let's get started. The first thing is obedient children. There's an ancient saying that has always stayed with me. A harmonious family brings prosperity. This piece of timeless wisdom strikes a deep chord in my heart. It reminds me that the essence of life, true wealth, comes from the love and peace within the family unit. A peaceful family, where children are respectful and supportive, can weather any storm. No amount of money or success can bring the fulfillment that comes from a loving family. However, when a family is fractured, when children are rebellious, indifferent, or neglectful, no fortune can ever calm the unsettled heart of a parent. I've seen this firsthand. And there's another saying that has never failed to resonate. When we are young, we rely on our parents. As we grow older, we rely on our children. This is not just about the duty of children to care for their aging parents. It also serves as a powerful reminder for us, as parents, about the responsibility we have in raising our children well. The true worth of a family isn't measured by the material possessions you gather, but by the values, love, and life lessons you impart. These are the things that form the true foundation of a life well lived. Reflecting on my own life now, in my early 70s, I've come to understand that the most precious thing I could ever ask for is not money or grand achievements, but the peace of knowing that my children are responsible, respectful, and caring. I've lived through decades of hard work and sacrifice, yet I see now that there's so much more I could have done to guide my children. When I was younger, I worked tirelessly, long hours, day after day, thinking that providing for my family meant accumulating wealth. I believed that if I made enough money, my children would be safe, happy, and grateful. I worked late into the night, saving every penny, buying properties, and ensuring that my children would have access to the best opportunities life could offer. But, looking back now, I realize how deeply mistaken I was. I made the mistake of thinking that wealth could replace the love, values, and guidance my children truly needed. My oldest son, John, was my pride and joy. I poured everything into his future, sent him to the best schools, bought him a car, and set up a savings account. I thought that by giving him all these material things, I was ensuring his success. But, oh how wrong I was. I never took the time to teach him the deeper lessons: hard work, responsibility, and respect for others. I assumed that with enough money, he would somehow learn those things on his own. But he didn't. Instead, he grew up relying on others, neglecting his responsibilities, and making poor choices. He became entangled with the wrong crowd, wasted money, and blamed everyone around him for his failures. And when the money eventually ran out, he even blamed me for not doing more. That was one of the hardest, most painful lessons of my life. It took me far too long to understand that money, no matter how much you have, can never fill the void of lost values. You can give your children all the wealth in the world, but if you don't teach them how to live with purpose, that money will slip through their fingers like sand. I remember what my father told me once: you don't teach children with words. You teach them by your example. That was a lesson I never fully grasped until it was almost too late. As parents, we must lead by example. We must show our children the importance of respect, hard work, integrity, and responsibility. Because these are the things that will carry them through life, not just a bank account full of money. I also remember what my grandfather used to say: the tree wants to remain still, but the wind doesn't stop. My grandfather was a strict man, but he was also deeply loving and wise. He never gave my father any material wealth. He taught him to be independent, to work hard, to stand on his own 2 feet. Yes, my father stumbled along the way. He faced hardships like we all do, but thanks to the values instilled in him by my grandfather, he became the rock of our family. As a child, I admired my grandfather so much, and I secretly hoped that one day I would be like him. But as I learned the hard way with my son John, I was wrong in how I approached life. It wasn't about providing more things, but about giving them what truly mattered. So, I decided to change. I stopped chasing after wealth and started focusing on what mattered: spending quality time with my youngest son, David. Every night, I would sit with him, share stories, and teach him to appreciate the simple things. We'd work in the garden together, and I'd tell him, just like a tree needs deep roots to grow strong, people need solid values, education, and determination to thrive. Slowly but surely, I saw a change in him. David grew into a thoughtful, responsible young man who cared for others and took pride in doing the right thing. He would always lend me a hand with small tasks around the house, and he made it clear that he wanted to take care of me in my old age. One day he said to me, "Dad, I don't need you to leave me a house or money. I just want you to stay healthy so I can take care of you." Those words, those simple, sincere words, brought tears to my eyes. In that moment, I realized that the greatest gift I could give him, and the greatest gift he could give me, wasn't wealth, but love, guidance, and attention. This, my friends, is the true measure of wealth in life. As the saying goes, teach your children when they are young. Children are like blank slates, and what parents write on them, they will carry for life. The lessons we impart to them, the example we set, are what truly last. Don't get so caught up in the pursuit of material wealth that you forget to nurture the most precious thing you can, your family. Because in the end, it is your relationships, not your bank balance, that will bring you the most peace and fulfillment. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. I've lived through so many moments of joy and sorrow, success and failure, and when I look back on my life now, what I am most proud of isn't the money I made or the things I accumulated. What fills me with the most pride are the lessons I've passed on to my children and grandchildren, the time we've spent together, and the love we've shared. So, my friends, don't let time slip away. Spend time with your children, show them how to live with integrity and kindness, and teach them the things that truly matter. Trust me when I say that when you do this, old age will not be a time of loneliness. It will be a time of purpose and joy. Because, in the end, the greatest gift a parent can receive is the respect, love, and responsibility of their children. Start planting those seeds today, and one day, you'll be able to enjoy the sweet fruits of your labor. The second thing, Health is the most valuable asset. Friends, there's an old yet timeless saying that resonates deeply within me. Health is everything. Without health, there is nothing. This simple yet profound statement speaks to the very core of our existence. As the ancients wisely put it, the body is the root, and health is the foundation. Without health, the mind is clouded, and the heart is unsettled. These words carry such weight and truth. They serve as a gentle reminder that our health is indeed the most valuable asset we possess. It is the very foundation upon which the joy of life rests. How can we truly enjoy life if we are weighed down by the burden of poor health? There's another beautiful saying that reminds us, taking care of your body is not just for longevity, but for living joyfully and peacefully every day. But sadly, too many of us ignore this truth, believing that we are invincible, especially when we are young and full of energy. It isn't until illness strikes, often catching us off guard, that we begin to realize the true importance of our health. But by then, the damage may already be done, and it could be too late to reverse it. Allow me to share a deeply personal story, one that I will never forget. I am 75 now, but over a decade ago, I was the epitome of stubbornness, someone who believed that hard work and the ability to push through any obstacle were enough. I paid little attention to my health, and I always brushed off the advice of those who cared about me. When I was younger, I was relentless in my work. I ate whatever was convenient, often choosing fast food or snacks, and I ignored the signs that my body was giving me. I thought youth was my strength, and I convinced myself that working hard would bring me success. But, dear friends, life has its laws, and one of them is this: neglecting your health will eventually catch up with you. When I turned 60, the reality of those choices hit me like a ton of bricks. I suddenly started feeling exhausted all the time, and dizziness became a constant companion. That's when I went to the hospital, where I received a diagnosis that would change my life forever: high blood pressure and diabetes, both conditions that were the direct result of years of poor eating habits and a disregard for my health. From that moment on, my life became a series of struggles, and the money I had worked so hard to save for my future was quickly drained into medical bills and treatments. It was a harsh lesson, but one that I had to learn the hard way. There's a quote by Steve Jobs that always resonates with me: "The most expensive bed in the world is a hospital bed." How true that is. My hard-earned savings, all those years of working tirelessly, vanished before my eyes. But the financial loss was not the hardest part. What truly broke me was the helplessness I felt when I realized that my body had become so weak. I could no longer take care of my family the way I used to, nor could I do the things I once loved to do. That moment, that profound feeling of weakness, made me understand the deeper meaning of the saying, "Illness enters through the mouth, and disaster comes from the mouth." It was my unhealthy eating habits that had led me down this painful road. I was devastated by the realization that I had neglected my body for so long. But I was lucky. My youngest son, Jake, never gave up on me. He sat me down and said, "Dad, it's not too late. You can still turn things around. You deserve to live joyfully and healthily, and I want you to be around for your grandchildren. Please, take care of yourself." His words struck a chord deep within me, and they became the turning point of my life. That moment of clarity led me to a decision that would change everything. I started to love myself more. I began waking up early each morning to exercise. At first, I could only manage a simple walk around the house, but with time, I felt my body growing stronger. My blood pressure stabilized, and slowly but surely, I started to regain my energy. I altered my diet, cutting back on salt and sugar, and focusing on wholesome, nutritious foods. I began to remember what my grandfather used to say: "Food is medicine. If you eat well, your body will stay healthy." Those words, once passed off as old-fashioned, now echoed in my heart. I also found joy in tending to my garden, planting vegetables, and watching them grow. It brought me a sense of peace that I had long forgotten. But it wasn't just about the physical changes. I also learned to nurture my mind and spirit. The ancients believed that when the heart is at peace, everything is at peace. I started taking time each day to relax, listen to music, and read. I focused on letting go of the unnecessary worries that once consumed me. I learned to cherish the present moment and embrace the simple joys of life. And you know what? It made all the difference. Have you ever noticed how those who laugh often, who embrace life with optimism and gratitude, seem to glow with vitality? They look younger, and their health seems to thrive. Now, at 75, I may not be as strong as I was in my youth, but I am filled with energy. I can play with my grandchildren, tend to my garden, and most importantly, I feel content every day. I wake up with a smile on my face, ready to embrace the day. I share this with my grandchildren often. Don't let money blind you. Health is the golden key that unlocks the door to happiness. Friends, the lesson I have learned is simple, yet life-changing. Take care of yourself today, because tomorrow is not guaranteed. Don't wait until you're sick to make a change. No matter how busy life gets, make time for exercise, eat healthily, and cultivate an optimistic mindset. As the ancients said, take care of your body today, and live healthily tomorrow. This is the best preparation for a peaceful and happy old age. Because, when you have your health, you can savor every moment, from enjoying a delicious meal to spending time with your loved ones. But if your health fails, no amount of money can restore the joy of life. So, dear friends, starting today, commit to love yourself. Make each day count by living healthily, cherishing the things you have, and embracing every moment. I share this story, not out of regret, but to remind you that it is never too late to make a change. No matter how old you are, it is always possible to take control of your health. Live joyfully, live healthily, and live with purpose. Old age is not an end, it is a new beginning, a chapter where you can experience life in all its richness. Living healthily means living happily, and living a long life means living with meaning. That is the greatest gift you can give yourself and your loved ones. The third thing, a life partner. Friends, there's a timeless saying that resonates deeply. A husband and wife's relationship is deep and meaningful. Even when gray hair appears, they keep their vows. These words carry a powerful truth. Marriage is not just a formal agreement, not just a piece of paper. No, it is a bond that runs deeper than the surface of things, a union of hearts and souls, a sacred promise to be there for each other, come what may. Life throws us many challenges, but when two people are bound by love, nothing is quite as overwhelming. A marriage is a partnership that walks with us through our most joyous moments and darkest hours. Another is a saying from ancient wisdom: when the husband is angry, the wife should speak less. The rice should be cooked on a low fire, and the marriage will last a lifetime. Patience, understanding, harmony. These aren't just virtues, they are the foundation of a lasting marriage. The little things, the quiet moments, the unspoken gestures, they build a relationship that endures beyond the years. Let me share something personal with you. I am 76 now, and my wife, Mary, and I have been together for over 50 years. We've been through so much, life's peaks and valleys, storms and sunny days. When we were younger, I wasn't always the perfect husband. I'll be honest with you, I was consumed by my work, often so caught up in the chase for success that I neglected what mattered, her and us. I thought that if I worked hard enough I could provide for our family, and everything would be okay. I thought that was enough. But now, looking back, I can see how wrong I was. I had become so focused on the external things, the money, the house, the future, that I had forgotten what made our marriage truly special. The emotional connection, the warmth, the bond that only a life partner can offer. I remember this one time when I was so wrapped up in work that I forgot to come home for dinner. I can still hear her voice, soft but firm. I don't need you to bring home a lot of money. I just want you to sit down and have dinner with me." Those words hit me like a cold splash of water. Suddenly, I realized that no amount of money could replace the presents I was giving away so freely. She didn't need grand gestures or material things. What she wanted most, what she needed most, was my time, my presence, my attention. The same attention I had once promised her when we first took our vows. Over the years, like every married couple, we've had our disagreements, often over the smallest things. But as the saying goes, married couples argue at the head of the bed and make at the foot. It's true. There's something beautiful in the reconciliation, in the understanding that comes after the storm has passed. And I am truly thankful for Mary's patience, and her ability to understand me even when I didn't deserve it. She has always been selfless, always putting the family first, never once asking for anything in return. I remember when my business failed, and instead of anger or disappointment, she simply wrapped me in her arms and said, "When you fall, I'll help you back up. When things get tough, I'll be here for you." Those words have stayed with me, and in those moments of despair, they have been my guiding light. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Her unwavering support, her love, has carried me through the darkest times of my life. And now, as I get older, I realize just how invaluable a life partner truly is. When we're younger, we focus so much on external goals, building careers, accumulating wealth, and achieving success. But as I look back now, I understand that those things, while important, aren't the ones that matter most. The person standing beside you through all of life's ups and downs, that's the true treasure. Our children grow up and leave, but it is our partner who stays, who remains by our side, sharing in both our triumphs and our heartaches. I remember Mary once telling me a story about an elderly couple from a neighboring town. They weren't rich, they didn't have material wealth, but they shared something far more precious, a deep, unwavering love. One day, the husband, who was gravely ill, knew his time was near. He took his wife's hand and said, "I owe you so much in this life. In the next life, I will find you again." And his wife, with a gentle smile, whispered, "Just go in peace. Don't worry, I'll wait for you here." After his passing, she lived alone, holding on to their memories and the love they shared. The villagers were deeply moved by the strength of their bond. It was a love so pure, so eternal, that it transcended even death. As I reflect on my own life with Mary, I feel incredibly fortunate. If she weren't by my side, my old age would be lonely and incomplete. But with her, every day is full of love, laughter, and peace. We tend to our garden together, cook meals side by side, take long walks, and share stories. These seemingly small moments are, in fact, the essence of life. It's in the quiet, the routine, the comfort of knowing that you have someone who truly understands you. Happiness doesn't come from external sources. It's in appreciating the partner you have, right beside you, day in and day out. Friends, if you still have your life partner, don't take them for granted. Don't let life's demands, the rush of the world, distract you from the person who has stood by you through it all. As the ancients wisely said, marriage is a bond of destiny. Don't wait until it's too late to realize how precious that bond is. Spend time with your partner. Share your joys and sorrows. Build a future together, so that your later years are filled with peace, not loneliness, and happiness, not regret. Marriage isn't about grand gestures or fancy gifts. It's about the simple things, the daily moments spent together, the quiet support, the gentle understanding. That is the true meaning of having a life partner. And that, my friends, is the greatest gift you can ever give or receive. The fourth thing is peace of mind and wealth. My dear friends, I want to share something with you that has been etched in my heart for years. When the mind is at peace, everything is at peace. This simple, yet incredibly profound saying carries a weight of truth that, when embraced, can completely transform the way we approach life. Life is constantly throwing challenges our way, whether it's health issues, family struggles, or financial hardships. But when we cultivate inner peace, we can face these hurdles with grace. When our minds are calm, we gain the clarity and strength to rise above even the toughest storms. And then there is the ancient wisdom. Wealth lies in the mind, not in material things. We hear it often, but how many of us truly live by this? This idea is a powerful reminder that true wealth isn't measured by the size of our bank accounts or the amount of property we own. It's about the peace and contentment that resides in our hearts. Real wealth is the richness of a peaceful, content mind, a mind that is not easily swayed by external circumstances. The ancients were wise beyond their years when they believed that having enough to eat, enough to wear, and most importantly, a peaceful heart, was the true wealth of a person. They lived in a world far less indulgent than ours, yet their wisdom holds as much relevance today as it did centuries ago. As I reflect on this, I feel a deep sense of gratitude for the lessons they've passed down to us. We live in a time where wealth is often worshipped, but it's important to remember that a full and happy life doesn't require a mansion, a luxury car, or piles of cash. True wealth can be found in the quiet moments of contentment, in the peace of knowing that you are enough, just as you are. Now, let me share something very personal. I'm 78 now, and I live in a small, cozy house that is filled with warmth, love, and the beautiful simplicity of life. I'm content here. But it wasn't always like this. Getting to this point of peace, of true contentment, didn't come easily. It took years of struggle, emotional battles, and painful lessons, especially regarding money and what truly matters in life. You see, when I was younger, I was driven by ambition. I wanted to succeed. I wanted to give my family everything they could ever dream of. I thought that if I could just acquire enough wealth, if I could make enough money to provide for them in ways that others couldn't, it would bring me happiness. I dove into investments, some of which were incredibly risky, thinking that they would provide the life I desired. I remember a real estate deal I entered into. It promised to double my money in 6 months. Oh, how eager I was to believe in its potential. But life doesn't always play out the way we hope. That deal failed. Not only did I lose every penny I had invested, but I also found myself deep in debt. I had to sell my home just to pay off those debts. It was a crushing blow. The shame, the embarrassment I felt, I couldn't escape it. My family was upset, and I blamed myself for everything. I felt like I had failed them. I remember staring at the walls of my empty house, asking myself how I could have been so foolish. How had I let my desire for wealth cloud my judgment? How had I allowed money to hold such a powerful sway over me? But then, something shifted inside me. I remembered a piece of wisdom my father had shared with me. No one is rich for 3 generations, and no one is poor for 3 generations. Those words started to ring true. I realized that, yes, wealth is important, but it should never control us. It shouldn't dictate our happiness, our self-worth, or our peace of mind. What truly matters is a peaceful heart, a clear mind, and the contentment that comes from knowing we are enough. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. So, I decided to change the way I approached life. I stopped chasing after quick gains, risky investments, and endless desires. Instead, I returned to honest, steady work. Slowly, over time, I began to save what I could for my retirement years. It wasn't easy. I had to start over, rebuilding everything from scratch. But with each passing day, I felt the weight of my mistakes lift, bit by bit. Years passed, and eventually, I paid off my debts. I had a modest savings. But here's the key. When I finally had enough to live comfortably, I didn't rush to spend it. I didn't run out and buy extravagant things. I chose simplicity. I bought a small house, a place just big enough for my wife and me, and I found peace in its modesty. For the first time in years, I understood what true wealth was. It wasn't in the things I owned. It was in the simple joy of living within my means. It was in the peace of not worrying about the next big investment or the next big purchase. It was in knowing that I had enough, and that was all I truly needed. Real peace of mind doesn't come from accumulating more and more material wealth. It comes from being content with what you already have, appreciating life as it is, and finding joy in the little things. I remember a dear friend of mine, Mr. Joe. Joe was once a man of great wealth. He lived in a grand home and had everything he could have ever wanted. But he, too, got swept up in the world of high-risk investments. Over time, his money vanished. He had nothing left but regret. By the time he turned 70, he was relying on his children for support, living in sorrow over what he had lost. I watched his life unfold, and it left a lasting impression on me. His story became my lesson. It taught me that money is only a tool to help us live, not the reason we live. Money does not define us, nor does it guarantee happiness. And now, in my later years, I live each day with a light heart. I keep enough savings to ensure I don't have to depend on my children. I know that they are busy with their own lives and families, and I want them to be free from the burden of caring for me. I've come to understand that a house is not a symbol of success. It's simply a shelter. It's the people you share it with, and the love that fills the space, that truly matters. Money is just a means to an end. It's not the end itself. I've learned to live with enough, and with that comes an overwhelming sense of peace. With this shift in mindset, my life feels lighter, brighter, and far more fulfilling. I am no longer weighed down by financial pressures or the pursuit of material wealth. And that is the message I want to share with you today, my dear friends. Live with peace in your heart and mind, and do not let unnecessary ambitions disturb your inner calm. Avoid the temptation of risky investments, and never spend beyond your means. Be mindful of every penny, and remember that true peace of mind comes from living simply, from appreciating what you already have, and from having the courage to let go of what no longer serves you. When you live this way, your later years will be far more peaceful, filled with contentment and joy, no matter what life throws your way. As the ancients wisely said, a wise person knows how to preserve their wealth, and the truly wise know how to keep their minds calm. When you find a balance between preserving both wealth and peace of mind, you will face old age with strength, with gratitude, and without fear. You will not worry about what you don't have, because you will know that what you have is enough. Live simply, my friends. Embrace the beauty of knowing when you've had enough. Find joy in life's smallest moments, for those are the true treasures. Life is a journey, and old age is just the final chapter. If we can preserve the 4 things that matter most, obedient children, good health, a loving life partner, and peace of mind, old age will not only be peaceful, but it will be fulfilling and joyful. With children who are respectful and capable, you will feel proud and at ease. With good health, every day will bring simple pleasures and gratitude. With your life partner by your side, both the joys and the challenges of life will feel lighter. And with a calm, peaceful mind, you will navigate the storms of life with grace and serenity. This, my friends, is true wealth. As we come to the end of this video, I want you to take a moment to reflect on the lessons we've shared today. What have you learned about peace of mind, wealth, and the true meaning of contentment in life? How will you apply these teachings to your journey, especially as you grow older? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please take a moment to comment below and share one thing you've learned from today's video that you plan to bring into your life. Whether it's about living more simply, focusing on what truly matters, or finding peace in the present, your insights might just inspire someone else on their journey. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Your support helps us continue creating content that empowers and inspires. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to hearing from you in the comments.